Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are waking up at our place that we slept last night, which happens to be a good old Cracker Barrel. I slept pretty well last night. It was pretty toasty though in comparison to some of the other nights. When I closed up my van last night, it was still in the 80s and it was a sticky 80s. So that made sleep a little bit more interesting, but I turned on my Road Pro fan and ran it on high all night. And by the end of the night, I was under my little light blanket, just cozy as can be. But today we have some things to do. It's supposed to be raining. I don't see a ton of cloud coverage, but I do see some. But we also are supposed to be getting some pretty gusty winds. So I think we're gonna play it by ear today, figure out what we're doing. But there is one thing I definitely have to do. I have to charge up that AC70 because I used a lot of power last night. And I need to clean off my solar panel because it is disgusting. Oh yeah, look at that. Ugh, you can see, just gross. Okay, I need to take this down so it doesn't blow in the breeze. I'll put that in there and I'll put it away in a minute. And then step up and let's get this side. I'm not gonna be able to reach all the way over, but I'm gonna try to do something. Since this is looser, oh, I can't get that center section to save my life. I'm too short. Okay, let's see if that helped any. Are we pulling in any power? We're pulling out some power because I'm charging. I've got my ABCs going here. Okay, it does look like it's doing something. We're just gonna hope for the best. It's not beeping at me. It's not doing any of the things. Oh, I just got some of that sand in here. Oopsies. Okay, time to put my extra water up. I'm gonna have to eventually get some more water for that center jug there, but this one's good. Okay, I switched over the AC70 to the roof just to make sure that I can keep charging it. And yeah, we're pulling about 54 watts off the roof right now, which is not bad. So I think what I'm gonna do is leave this one plugged in here, and then I'm gonna plug in the alternator to the other one. So while I'm driving around, I'll keep that one going, but I'm gonna be away from the van for a considerable amount of time today, and I wanna keep this going because, as you can see, half the battery's gone because I had to run all those things. It was my laptop, my watch, my phone, and my fan, and all of those were running pretty much simultaneously for several hours. So the fan ran all night. My laptop drew quite a bit of power off of this also. So I think this is gonna be the best way to get it closer to topped off. That's the nice thing about having the panel is when I'm away from the van, I can still be charging things that otherwise I couldn't. And if I had just my portable panels, I wouldn't be able to do this because I can't stick a portable panel in the window and get very many watts. And I certainly wouldn't leave it outside because that would get stolen. This is why having a fixed panel is great. Having a portable panel is nice whenever I'm sitting still in a location, but I don't do that often enough. So whenever I do, I have those up there, but for the most part, this works more efficiently for me personally. Okay, everything's in its place. Everything is also in its place. Collie has her door open over here, but she just closed up that one, so she's almost ready to go. Good morning, Collie. Okay, so Collie just wiped a little bit of the stuff off her van too. And when we pulled in, it wasn't like this, but you can see, hi, do you see that? Like, it feels grainy like sand, but also it's kind of a yellowy tint. So we think that this is all pollen, which is why Collie seems to be a little bit more congested this morning. I probably will be eventually because I've been out here now. Whew, so what's our day gonna look like today since it is so windy and really pollen-y? Probably today is going to look like an errands day. Collie and I both have a few things that we need to pick up. I would like to possibly get some more of those sauces so I can make some more burrito bowls because I really liked those. Those are very filling on a day that I've had just a busy day, and they seem to work really well for me. They're not too heavy. They're just like a single serving, which is great. But also there's a few other small things that I need. So I think we're going to find a Dollar Tree first because Dollar Tree shopping is the best. If you didn't see my Dollar Tree videos that I've made for shopping for food and then also for van life things, please go check those out. Today I'm feeling real wrinkled. Normally I'm not quite this wrinkled. I forgot to spray my shirt with my wrinkle release. That was dumb. It'll be okay. It's really humid today, so I'm sure that it will just like work its way out. But in the meantime, I'm not doing anything that's super productive today other than just errands. We're also going to sit down, I think, for an office day because both of us, the more that we sat outside, it just started to like overwhelm us. And I'm going to have like lots of sneezing today. I can tell Collie already has been. So I think we're just going to get out of whatever this is in the air for a bit by going to like an office place. We have, again, errand day. So this might not be the most eventful day, but it will be a day that makes a difference, and that is why I wanted to make sure that the power station was charging no matter what. The rain has kind of projected itself to work later into the afternoon now, so at any point in time, realistically, based on the radar, it could rain. However, right now it's looking like it might not rain immediately, and so we kind of were thinking, ooh, we could go do something, but then the wind is really bad today, guys. So I think that that's going to be how we spend our day being productive. So buckle up, Buttercup. We're going to Dollar Tree to start this. It is already 82 degrees in the van this morning, but it's like a sticky 82. Let's get our communications up for the day. Oh, Collie, are you about ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, I'm gonna buckle up and then we can hit it. Okay, now that we got all the pollen off, we're using the windshield wipers, definitely pollen, and I'm pretty sure it might have come from there. Yeah, so we're back on the road. Here we go. Okay, we have arrived at location number 1, and I took a Tylenol because my allergies are gonna be allergy-ing, and I can't take allergy meds because it makes me go to sleep. So we're gonna hope that that diminishes what has now started as a result of the pollen. We do think we know what caused the pollen though now after seeing all of those little flowering trees. So that totally makes sense. Something to consider about the Cracker Barrel tonight if we decide to go back there again. But we're at Dollar Tree, let's go get our goods. Okay, lock it up and walk it out, walk it out, walk it out, walk it out. We're looking around for a couple things. We want to get some more smoothie pouches. I kind of want to get some more cilantro lime rice, but I also need to get some more of the enchilada sauce if they have it. This could be hard to find because not every Dollar Tree has the same stuff. So I'm gonna for sure get this, and I'm gonna keep looking because we have a few small things that we need. Nothing too exciting, but small things. So sometimes the smoothie pouches are over here. I don't see them, so I don't think that they have them here, but we're gonna keep looking because sometimes they get put in different places. Got myself some more canned chicken because I have been using a lot of that lately. It's really good and easy to use. Collie went, ooh, 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 and she pointed, and there they are. We have found them, and there's a bunch of them. Okay, I was able to get some more drinks. I was able to get some more of my supplies. I do need to put this in my fridge. I just decided to get this because these are easy to do in the air fryer. So if I'm having like a long day and I don't feel like cooking, these are super simple. So I have that. Otherwise, I need to grab this so I can scan it for fetch, and we are off to our next stop. I gotta figure out what that stop is though, so let's find Collie. Where's Collie? Where do we want to go next?
That's what I was going to ask you.
I think both of us are dragging today.
We are. I do believe we are.
Do you want to go grab some coffee then and work for a bit and see if we can wake up?
Probably a good idea to do that.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, we figured out we're only about 4 minutes away from Starbucks, so we're gonna go get some coffee. That's gonna help a lot. I think both of us are just kind of dragging because of the situation with the pollen, and it's bad. It's really bad. My headache is starting to go away since I took an ibuprofen though, so that's good. The positive is on days like today where you know that the wind is just winding and it's going to be hard to be outside because of all the stuff, you can do stuff like this. We were able to find all the things that we needed at our first stop, which is great. That sets us up for success down the road. There's a couple of other things that we kind of want to do here in Iowa, but if it's going to be potentially like rainy or windy, it's not going to be great because they're outdoor. And we even considered doing like an indoor attraction, but the thing is, school just got out. A lot of the things on days that it is nasty outside, they're super packed. So even if you're going there during the week, it's still really, really busy. We learned that the hard way by trying to like go to something and seeing that it was just overflowing with people. And that's just the nature of the beast of traveling during summer. You have to pick your battles. Normally during the school season, you can go to like a random museum on a Tuesday and you're gonna only have people who either have homeschooled kids or they're gonna have kids who aren't in school for that day for whatever reason. But when school is out, everybody flocks to those places, and that's what those places are for. So I'm not gonna be mad about that. Instead, I'm just gonna kind of pivot and do things that I know I can do. And so that means that I just have to kind of imagine life a little bit different. But imagining life different in the Midwest looks different than imagining life different on the West. And so it is kind of a learning curve because I haven't been up to this section before. So we're figuring it out one day at a time. But today we're gonna work on that a little bit more while we're also at the Starbucks. We're gonna pull up some things, get them map going and do an offline map where we have all the points of interest, and that way we can kind of make more judgment calls a little bit more wisely, because we're going to dip into Wisconsin. So we want to find out what we could do in Wisconsin, and also where some of the places we might be interested in staying are, because again, you have to plan a little bit more in these regions. It's time. We're going to go to Starbucks and we'll get all of that started, and who knows, I don't know if we'll be there all day. I don't know if we'll be there just for a short time. Either way, we're going to get something accomplished where we can feel a little bit better and also not be inhaling the pollen, because that's just gross at this point. Also, it looks as though the rain that we were talking about is coming in. From the time that we went into the store where it was still sunny to now, big difference. Okay, I'm gonna leave my window cracked just the slightest little bit, because that's gonna continue to let the heat dissipate from the van. And I'm gonna put on my regular shoes because it looks like it's about to pour and I don't wanna get my feet all sloshy coming outside. But we're at Starbucks. I will also, as always, grab like a light layer, because sometimes it's really cold in Starbucks. So even though it's really warm outside, I can always tie it around my waist and not worry about it. So I'll just grab like a little flannel and my laptop, and it's time to go inside and get to work. Overall, today's gonna be a very productive day. We got all the things that we need. I even found a little special something for my parents that I'm excited about, that I'm gonna haul around for who knows how long, but I have a place for it, so that's all that matters. But I am excited, and I'm hoping that when we come outside, it won't be quite as warm. Now, just driving from down where we were to here, pushing the way that we did with the air, I dropped down 6 degrees in the van, and so that's what you really have to do. It is starting to rain though, so I need to get going. Ooh, I'm getting rained on, getting rained on. Okay, let's do this. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, I can see better out this side.
Yeah.
The outer band of what's over there.
Yeah.
Coming across the river right now. So our day went a little weird. We were working. We were almost finished with work, and then a storm started coming in. We started noticing the sirens going off. They were testing the sirens earlier, not a big deal, but then we realized that they weren't testing them. They are actually a tornado warning. So Collie and I, being from, you know, places that get really bad tornadoes, moved into read the clouds, check for birds, look at the sky, turn on the weather guys. And so we're just kind of riding it out here in the Starbucks for another 15-20 minutes until the weather situation passes. Meanwhile, they have closed the Starbucks because there is a warning here actively. It has started dumping rain. We haven't had hail. We looked at the radar. It's going like south of us a bit, we think. The roads have cleared out quite a bit from what they were, but it's creepy. I didn't expect that today, definitely. Thought we had fled that, clearly not. So Polly and I are gonna renegotiate where we're going to get away from this, because I'd like to get away from the tornadoes. Not right now, because obviously we're safe still, but like tomorrow, we're at exact 1,000, we're going somewhere. But it is starting to like die down. We have 15 minutes more in the warning, but we've been watching and making sure the wind doesn't shift, because if it shifts, it's literally right across the river from where we are. Now, they were nice enough to say that typically they are lucky because they're so close to the water that they get missed on these. So that's good, but it was literally right across, like right across. So that's bad. I hope those people are okay, because it's a densely populated area. But yeah, we're just riding it out at Starbucks. The tornado warning has finally lifted. It's off to the northeast of us now. And so Colleen and I are leaving. This was really unexpected. We were just supposed to have rain today. It wasn't supposed to turn into this, but you never know with the weather. Okay, I gotta get in the van. I will say this, we are super thankful for this Starbucks because they did the right thing. They offered their space as like a shelter, and they had a nice safe space in the bathrooms for everybody. So that was awesome. And the ladies who work here at this one are absolutely amazing. And this is the location off of Elmore and 53rd. So if you're ever in Davenport, please come here. Please support these people because they were awesome. Again, they gave us a good place to be, but also everybody was really nice, and they immediately like locked down and did what they were supposed to do, and that is great to know. We watched it until we couldn't watch it because it got too like aggressive. We were watching a flag to see what the wind direction was changing to because it was like right over here, and so we didn't know if it was going to stay over there, if it was going to rotate. And I was like telling him, you know, hey, this is how you can see if it's moving. Watch the flag. But then the rain started coming down. We lost visual. But yeah, it was pretty weird there for a minute. We didn't get the hail, thank goodness. Collie and I both had a weird conversation though. We were curiously asking, what does happen if you're in your van and you're in a safe place and then something happens? And we both have kind of like a contingency plan for that. Somewhat, for me, I would probably just go to the airport, get on a plane, fly back to Texas, and then figure it out, because what do? You know? Collie said that she would call her partner and he would come up here and get her, probably. So either one of those are good ideas. But if you're out there, have you thought about that? Because up until this moment, I had thought about all the what ifs if I was in Texas while this happened, but putting it together with what happens if I'm not is a bigger deal. I'm gonna turn on my walkie. Collie and I are gonna figure out where we're going. It's supposed to be thunderstorming the rest of the night, so tonight's gonna be pretty interesting, but at the same time, we're safe, and that's what matters. And again, these ladies were awesome. They did a good job. Not only did they have good stuff and they were really nice, but also they made sure that everybody who was inside knew that there was a safe shelter there. So thankful, let me tell you. I'm really tired of tornadoes, guys. I'm super tired of bad weather. I just want to get out of the bad weather. It seems like no matter where you go, though, it's there. Of course, I knew coming up to the Midwest there would be some options for this, but it seems as though they're everywhere. Storms, bad stuff, fires. The world is angry. That's the best way to put it. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. I'm gonna find camp now, I think, because I need a break. I need a break. I need to just unwind. I can't adult anymore after this. This is a lot. This is a lot. I also probably need to figure out if I can make like a review of this Starbucks and leave them like nothing but glowingness. Okay, just so you guys know, for the last 3 blocks there has been no power. And Collie and I were both in the Starbucks saying, no, this is close. And they were saying, no, it doesn't happen this way. The river catches it. But up until this section, we had no power. And it was only like 2 minutes away from where we were. So we just got back to where power was again. It's kind of wild because a lot of people are just so used to hearing things and they think, oh, we're safe and stuff. And like in all reality, like us both being from like places that get storms, like we were like, no, like look, here's the radar. We were showing the people inside like the radar and showing them, hey, no, this isn't good. And we were telling them where it was, and they were like, oh, that's right over there. Yeah, it was right over there. And in fact, it was 2 minutes down the road driving, 2 minutes. So the outer bands is what we got hit by when the moisture came through and it started raining again. And it's still lightning, it's still thunderstorming, but the warning has dissipated. So we'll still watch the radar and stuff, but otherwise we're out of the bad stuff according to all the weather guys. So that's good. But also two minutes down the road, 2 minutes. Yeah, puts it in perspective whenever you see the power outages. I called my parents, let them know what was going on. I called them again to tell them, we're safe. Riley was watching our location. Collie's partner, Kyle, he was watching. And so, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay, we made it to the Cracker Barrel. We decided this was going to be our safe place for the night. We have a couple of options within this. Just trying to get settled. Collie's parking over there. We were just talking about that we're going to go ahead and check the weather before bed, obviously, again. But we're also going to come up with a contingency plan in case we get an alarm of some kind. If we do, there's literally a hotel right over here. That would have a safe place that we can go, possibly. That would be the best bet. That's the thing, is kind of knowing your surroundings, so we know there is literally something right there. Otherwise, okay, big lightning. Love that for us. Otherwise, like over in this direction, there's several businesses that we might be able to go to seek shelter. So we have ideas. Are they good ideas? I mean, they're as good as they can be, I guess. My camera just got water on it from earlier, and so sorry guys. Yeah, today's been a day. We went from like feeling the pollen to, don't worry, the pollen's not gonna be here in the morning. I should sleep pretty well with the thunderstorm. I don't really have an issue with sleeping with the rain, and now that we've gotten through the scary part, I think, again, we'll just make sure we're fine. It's just another day, a day in the life, and it is what it is. We're not here alone though. There's another van, there's 2 RVs, there's actually 3 RVs. I guess you could call the Echo an RV too. There's another van over here. So we have lots of friends in this. So if panic comes to panic, we won't be by ourselves. We'll all be scrambling to figure it out. So to the back I go, and maybe tomorrow will be a better day. Who knows? We'll find out soon enough, I guess. I'm not cut out for storms, guys. I'm just not. My situations have been kind of unique. The first one being that, like, obviously I grew up in Texas. We have storms and stuff like that, so I've been familiar with them my entire life. But that last trip that I came back through and I tried to drive and I almost drove into a storm, like into it, and I had to, that was enough to just like really mess me up when it comes to how I react to these. And then having the storm that dropped like a mile from my house, and then this time when I've been home, all of the crazy storms and us having to flee the storm, and then us getting pounded by the hail. I feel like it's just like one after another. My instinct is to always make sure that I am protected and safe, and that I get to live another day so I can do all sorts of crazy things, because we're not going out like that. We're just not. Whenever I see anything, I take it very seriously, and everyone should. When the weather guys are sitting there saying, hey, you need to take shelter, you need to be inside, you need to be in a safe place, you do not need to be in a vehicle, you do not need to be under an underpass, I listen. I've seen too many people who have neglected those warnings and ended up not in a great place. I've seen a lot of damage. I've seen a lot of really bad things, and I'd prefer not to be a part of that myself. Now, again, today kind of inspired some weird thoughts, like what do I do if I am in that situation, like while I'm here? Where do I go? Okay, cool, contingency plan. But also, if I do get hit by a storm and something happens to the van, what do? I make sure I have my bag with me with my ID and all of my money and stuff like that, so I can book a flight and go someplace safe. Because obviously if something happens to the van, like, yeah, insurance and stuff, but also like, what do I do? Stay in a hotel until I'm just like sad? I mean, I guess that would work for the immediate part, but at the same time, like, so if you have anything that you would like to add to this conversation about storm awareness on the road, what you do, please put that in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. Let's help one another out. Let's solve some issues together. Let's make sure that we're all safe. And if you are out there and you're experiencing any of this crazy weather, please, I cannot beg you enough, watch Ryan Hall, y'all, and Max Velocity. And I know that some people favor one over the other, but please watch either one of them, because today they once again led us to a place of safety and warnings. And because of that, we were able to communicate that with the people inside and make sure that they also knew that, hey, these are people that are trusted. And we, as people who've experienced this before, rely on these people. Now, the rest of the night's going to be pretty gnarly for Oklahoma, for Texas, possibly parts of Missouri. So I'm crossing my fingers that everybody's okay. And if you're out there, stay safe, guys. Remember, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. Can't be a good time if, we're not here. Till next time. Bye.